Hello, everybody. This is Mr. Covert, your computer science teacher. I just wanted to give you a short video on what your assignments are this week, where they are, and how to do them. So here we go. One of the most important things I want to bring your attention to is the stream. And this is pretty much where everything that I post will show up. And so you can see if I kind of go down on the stream, it will show you kind of all of those different assignments and posts and resources and all sorts of things. So this is kind of where everything shows up. And one of the things that I'm wanting you to look at is the virtual class link. So every week during your academic week, I will post a link that you can click on and go during your specified time. And both A week and B week class would be from 10 a.m. to 10:50 a.m. Obviously, you will not have virtual class during your shop week. You have shop things to do. Um, but those meetings will only happen during your academic week. So either A week if you're in 11th grade or B week if you're in 12th grade computer science. So I'm gonna also bring your attention to classwork. So that would be the easiest way to find what you need to be doing. So for this week, I'm gonna click on classwork, and it's under the category or topic, is what you call it in Google Classroom, remote learning. And this basically gives you all the directions for your project. I broke it up into part one and part two. And it seems like people have already turned it in. And I also have different naming conventions that I'd like you to follow and instructions on how to attend virtual class. I'm also going to bring your attention to the different documents that are here. These are the directions for your project. So this is the Create Your Own Adventure project, and you can click on that to see um, kind of what that looks like and read that. The adventure storyboard, this is something I do want you to do as part of the assignment. That's actually part one of your assignment, and I'll explain that in a second. There's a sample solution to the Create Your Own Adventure program project. So if you want to see what a finished product looks like and play around with it and look at the code, you can look there. Um, these are some ideas. So this is kind of the if you wanted to search for ideas within Scratch, you could do that. You could look at other people's work. There's tons of different things you can do. You can find tutorials on there on how to program specific things, and I'll give you some basics in a moment. But and then there's also a starter adventure program that I set up for you on Scratch. So you can feel free to remix this or make a copy of it and use that as a starter for your own. Um, so as I'm looking through the directions, part one is submit a storyboard. And don't start your programming until you have completed the storyboard. And I want you to name it your last name and then adventure storyboard. And it's important to do the storyboard because this is like a plan for what your program will look like. And so it's clear kind of where you're going with your program. So, an example of something that I'm looking for in a storyboard is, again, let's say you started off your first, you have two sprites that are talking to each other, and there's a decision. That's being made. So let's say at the end of that programming scene, you have to make a choice of whether you want to pick red or blue. And so I would want to see on the storyboard that there are two sprites talking to each other, and there's a choice made whether or not they need to pick red or blue. And then you need to tell me what happens when you pick blue and what happens when you pick red. And they should branch off into a separate kind of story, depending on what adventure your person picks. And you're going to do that for your whole story. Part two, your whole program. Not well, it's technically a story, but yes, you are creating an adventure that whoever plays this program gets to choose their own adventure. That's why it's called Create Your Own Adventure Program. Part two is submitting your work and sharing it on the Scratch Studio. So you're not going to submit your work on Google Classroom. You're going to submit it on Scratch. And If you need assistance in doing that, I can certainly help you with that. That is something we've gone over in class many, many, many times. And then again, the naming conventions. Um, I'll show you an example of the project. So here is an example. And if I make this full screen, I'll show you. All right, so this is a final product of the project. So I'm going to click the green. And boy, I can't decide what to do today. Should I go play soccer or basketball? And it's telling me click B for basketball or S for soccer. So I'm going to click S for soccer. And it's telling me, oh, all right, so I can click the ball to make the goal. And then P to go to another planet or F to visit flowers. So I think I am feeling galactic. So I'm going to pick P for planet. I'm going to go visit a planet in the end. So that's it, it can be as simple as that. To do your project. Now, just to take a look inside of the programming of your project. So when the green flag is clicked, we are changing X and Y coordinates. So again, that is looking at motion. You're also using looks because backdrops are changing and things like that. And each sprite has different codes. So you can take a look at this. I've even posted this on Google Classroom, and you can remix this and reuse it if that is what you want. But each sprite has its own code, and they are working simultaneously together. All right, there's cake in there, there's a butterfly, there's a planet. So you can see all those codes, and you can look at that on your own time. But going back to the assignment, again, you can look at the sample solution. You can use the starter. There's ideas here. If you need assistance at all, please, please, please do not hesitate to contact me through email. I would be happy to work with you and help you out. Um, all right. And again, you're going to submit your storyboard on Google Classroom, and you can do it right through this assignment, and that will alert me that you have turned in your storyboard. And then after you turn in your storyboard, you can turn in your Scratch program. If you have any questions, please reach out through email. I'd be happy to assist you. Adios for now.